Hello and welcome back to another video. We have the sketchbook project again today, and this will be the second to last video in this series, and we are basically just going to be filling a few extra pages in here, finalizing a few because a lot of them are just backgrounds. We need to put something over the top, and then we will be binding this with our new front cover that I showed in the last video, which I lost a lot of clips on, which was very upsetting, and that will be what is going to happen in this video. And then the next video you will see on the sketchbook project, which will probably be in November, will be the final flip through, so you can see all the art in its entirety, and I'll talk a little bit about my inspirations and what I've done in that video. So let's get to it. I think I was having a look through the art. This is something I kind of did on a whim, this little one here, and I don't think I'm going to include it. These are all the additional sheets that I cut out, but I've reached that 1/2 inch mark, which I was told that I can actually go thicker, but I think I'm going to stick with the 1/2 inch. I want it to fit back into this sleeve, and I want it to go through the post very easily. And like I have mentioned in a few of the videos, I have missed the deadline to be included in the travelling book library. However, I can still send this back and it'll still be digitized and it'll still be in the Brooklyn library itself. So if you are there, please check it out. I will include the book reference, etc., so you can see that if you're there, and you can also check it out online, which I'll link once it's fully uploaded. And yeah, so basically I was looking through, we've got this, which I was doing the jelly plate on, which I like the front and the back part of it. The middle part is a little questionable because I was experimenting. So I'm actually thinking of doing either some writing on here or a block out, cut out of some creature over the top. I don't know, I'm going to decide on that. So that's one page we've got to complete. The next page is, we have this and this on the inside, so I need to do something on the back there to encapsulate this red splodge from the ink bleed that we did. This is already complete. This is already complete except the back page, so I need to put something on there. This is already complete. This needs something on the inside there, and that's it. So, and then we need to bind it all, make sure it's all kind of put together in a nice way, there's nothing obstructing anything else, and then we will do the front cover. So I'm thinking of cutting this in half and actually mounting this onto some board or something, just because I want it to be a bit stiffer so I can bind through it a little bit, and then we'll get to the binding a little bit later. So I'm just going to get straight into it. We're going to time lapse all of this because there's a lot to go through, and I'll catch up at the end with my thoughts on how it went. Right, I am done with the binding. I actually cut the footage because I was finding it really difficult to film it and bring it out here whilst I was trying to sew and everything. It was really finicky, it was getting on my nerves. But as you saw, I made a little template which has now disappeared on me. I don't know where it is amongst this mess. Oh, here it is. I made this little template. So to do the binding, I basically fold this around and I put the holes where I want the holes, and use my little proddy stick thing, which I can't remember the name of suddenly, through, and that just makes sure that all the holes I'm punching are going to be exactly in the same place on every single page. I actually have bound this not in the best way and not in the neatest way. I knew I needed to mount the front and back page on some more card because I wanted to bind it like this. And annoyingly in my head, I wanted to do that through the pages as well. So where you had your bend, so this is your bend here, instead of having it in the center like this template is, I wanted to have the holes poked through. So like, hold on, let's not do it on top of there. So like this instead, so that the thread went through like that, and then you'd have like a little loop here and it would extend and go over, and that's what I intended. But annoyingly, as I was doing it, I just automatically defaulted to the normal way of binding books, which works fine, but it's probably better for when you're putting multiple pages in one another, whereas it doesn't really work when you're binding individual pages, which is what this book basically ended up being. But I managed to kind of work around it. I bound it how I would bind it using this normal method, and then I actually went back and punctured holes with my needle through like this through the pages itself, so they've got like a double binding on them. And then the spine here isn't as neat as I wanted it to do. I wanted to do some fancy weaving, but it ended up being just really finicky. I was actually tearing through my card and stuff, and I didn't want to break the book itself. And it feels really sturdy. Like I feel like this is bound very sturdily. It's not going to break. But yeah, that's that. The one issue I did have, I'm going to flick to the page. Where is it? So do you know this Yupo paper where I've done my alcohol inks? It did keep tearing because it's so thin. So I'm actually going to just put a little bit of tape down the middle there just to secure that in there and make sure that that doesn't fall out. But this is so sturdy, and this is what I was talking about. So I've got the normal binding method where the bindings are going in and horizontal, what's it called? Vertically, and then I've also got the bindings going horizontally as well, which has kept this really sturdy. So that's good. I won't talk about the art because I'm going to do the flip through in the next video, but you saw most of what I did. It was pretty simple. There was a little bit of painting in there, a little bit of lettering, and things like that. Nothing too spectacular, but that's bound and it's all ready to go. I'm going to send this off as soon as I can, and hopefully in the next video where I do the flip through, I will be able to do a voiceover and tell you the book. It's going to be this code, but I don't know when they're going to put it up, so I'm actually going to upload that once it's there and it's arrived and it's uploaded and on the internet, on their website, and in the book, in the library itself. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you are new here, and if you are wanting to see the flip through, click that notification bell next to the subscription button and you will be told when I next upload, so that when I do upload this flip through you won't miss it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.